So everybody, thank you very much for taking the time. We have Serena here representing from Rabbit Finance 2023. If you check her profile picture, really cool little picture of the rabbit there. That was the first thing that caught my eye. It is pretty cute. I'm not going to lie on that in terms of the design and the profile picture. And obviously, from a community perspective, they were successfully able to, as Serena just mentioned, complete their fair launch. They only had a 50 BNB soft cap. When I posted on the channel, they were around 350 BNB, and they finished at 500. So again, pretty crazy FOMO that this team was able to generate on this one. I know even in these market conditions, FOMO has been a little bit of a less of a factor. And we've seen a little bit more hype shift towards the traditional whitelist presale or public presale versus the fair launch. So I will say, great job by the team from a marketing and a hype perspective, building up the right audience on this one for the fair launch. We've seen a few struggle recently, so that's great. And then in terms of what they're trying to build, ultimately they're looking to come together in the future to form a DAO within Rabbit Finance where it's community focused and, essentially community owned in that respect with regards to the decision making process. They are looking to, again, with regards to some of the benefits to holders, produce here a higher APY. So, my kind of thought process on that, we're going to have to spend some time deep diving how the team plans to sustain that APY over time. And then again, for me, it's, a really cool concept. Obviously, Rabbit tokens have been very popular recently. You guys have seen the shift. Obviously, with 2023 around the corner and it being the year of the rabbit, that does make sense. So again, I'm going to throw the mic here over to Serena to officially kind of introduce herself here. But again, Serena, thank you very much for the flexibility and thank you very much for the time this morning to come by the channel.
Yes, okay. So yeah, as I said before, so I'm really happy to be here with you guys today. Even the Fallon the results Fallon just end 5 minutes ago. Yeah, thank you for the support. And of course, I understand the situation. Actually, we intended to have the ASMAs 1 hours earlier, but it's okay to be here with you guys right now, and it is right time for me to say thank yous for all the support from the earliest investor who put the total trust in us in the result. And we successfully raised nearly 500 BNB so far. Yes, of course, as you mentioned, this belong to belongs to the success from the marketing, the effective marketing plan. But I think the important keynote factor is from our community. Yes, they are very strong, they're very active. Yes, they put the total trust in us during the past week years, and they always here with us, and they share the ideas, opinions, and the team support also. The team support here, support team, they are always here nearly 24 hour days, and they answers every question from the investors, from the members. So that's the reason why we had a success result so far. Thank you very much. Yes, and right now I'm here and I want to answer some more questions about our projects. As you can see that and you can see that our team with more than 40 members, they are handling different jobs. They are very hardworking and have been very active and flexible. Yes, flexibility as you mentioned. And they are active in different fields of cryptocurrency. They have a certain experience and skills, which made me very happy to be the part of such a united team like that. And Rapid Finance is a leading of the second generation of decentralized financial platform, and it will create a chance for anyone to look to generate the daily next generation passive income. And we based on the DAO's mechanisms where the holders, where the investor, they can raise their voice and vote for the plans of developing the projects for any stage of the project together. Yes, okay, so any more questions about us, about our team? You can raise your voice or you can take the message. And after that, the host here He's very helpful and he will help me to clarify the questions and answers all the questions from you guys.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much, Serena. First thing I wanted to start with here is going to be kind of what to expect for launch. I mean, obviously, you guys had a very successful fair launch. So again, congratulations to you and the team over there at Rabbit Finance 2023. It is a big accomplishment. I mean, volume is low right now in the space across most launch pads, across most dexes, sexes, regardless of where you're looking, volume is just down. So it is nice to see again, a positive response on a fair launch. It's great to start the week out with the successful close. I know that the community and the team is excited. So what's kind of on the horizon for you guys on the launch now?
Okay, yes, as you can, yes, you say that this is not a good time, right? Because the market is not good right now, and this is the bear market time. Yeah, yes, and we know that this is a very challenge for us to open the fair launch results. But you know that we were so confident in our team, in our development plan, and we know that this is a challenge. It is also the opportunity for us. Why we call that is a opportunity? Because in this the market situation, the investor really want to have the potential project where they can put the total trust, where they can put their investment, and they be sure that they can make the profit and will not fall into the scam, project or something like that. So this is the chance for us to prove ourselves. Prove that our team has a serious attitude to the projects and we have this long-term plan for the development. Okay, so after launch, of course, we prepare everything for this one. First of all, after launch, the token will be listed on the CMC's on CoinGecko dry after launch. We already submitted the purchase and they already alerted our token. You can check on the pin message at our global group. They already alerted our token to be listed on the CMC on CoinGecko first. And right now, we finished submitted to two big company, audit company. That's we call this is an auditors company. Do you know that one? Yes or no? Do you know that this is a very big audit company? We already finished dealing with them and will announce very soon, right at launch. Yes, with those, all these auditors. Yes, and another big audit company is a Heiken audit. We already submitted answers and they confirmed also. We will announce at launch also. And of course, for another AMAs, yes, will be is on the process. A lot of AMA with the big channels like you guys here, like you here. Yes, we will open up more and more CSMAs and advertisement on the Facebook, on the Rooster, and other channels, other twisters also. More posts will come in. Yeah, a lot of marketing plans because we have a marketing specialist and he has a lot of experience in marketing. He knows a way to make our investors successful, and of course, the investor satisfaction is our keynote factors. Yeah, this is our target. So that's why we try our best to work hard and never stop working on the projects and keep it for long term. Yes. Okay, thank you very much, Maureen, for the good questions about the marketing run of the launch, right?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Serena. Yeah, so I was just kind of curious because obviously the one thing you want to maintain, right, is that momentum and you want to carry over the positivity from a successful fair launch in this market and obviously try and bring that over to a successful launch, right? So I appreciate you touching on that for me. Typically, I don't get into marketing first. I did cover it off first in this situation just because again, you want to keep that hype and that momentum built after a very successful fair launch in the way the market is going right now. So great answer. And I know, yes, school who's kind of helping you guys out on the incubation, the marketing side there. He's phenomenal, as mentioned. We've worked with him in the past. He's a beast, so I'm excited to see what kind of he has in the works for you guys when you officially go live there tomorrow. So again, I know he's really good at what he does. He's got some great connections in the space. Not every marketing material or marketing activity produces the same result as it works as it used to, but I know he's got quite a deep network, and people like to work with him as well. I will say that I enjoy working with him too. He's very quick, very responsive, and always polite. So yeah, that's awesome to hear. Now let's go back into kind of the project itself, right? So Rabbit Finance, let me see here, Serena. You guys have your token, your RB token. So what exactly does the RB token kind of grant a holder in the ecosystem to start? Like, what are you able to do from holding the Rabbit Finance token essentially here in this situation?
Okay, so yeah, you can check the cash flows here. Yes, you can check the cash flow here. We have two form of staking. That's the single token staking and the multi token staking. When it's mentioned to when it comes to the multi token staking, that's the every holders, investors, or other project they can connect with us to have the staking pool for their token together with our token, and we will release the tokens name in your RBs, RBs LP. Yes, RB LPs. This token is used only for staking with multi token. And it will divide into two kinds of form of tokens. Single token staking only accounts for 30%, and other multi tokens account for 70%. We want to create more chances, more opportunities for other purchase the latest one to join in our platform, just to stake their tokens, and so that their investor can earn the passive income together with our projects also, right? So you can check it. This is the Rabbit LP. Yes, Rabbit LP is for the multi token staking only, right? So, is any things to want to know more about this one, about the cash flows, or is about the staking firms here?
No, I mean for me, I know that you have the allocation of the 25% going to the staking reserves from the tokenomics
Yes.
first off. So I know that's kind of going to be the safety net, for lack of a better term, or the initial allocation that can give you some sustainability. But I guess for me on the flip side, what what other ways are you going to have kind of volume, or I guess value coming in that is going to be able to kind of cover off some of the staking rewards or maintain that high APY over time? Because that 25%
Okay.
at some point is going to go away,
Low.
or like kind of dwindle down. So how do you keep the pool healthy, I guess, would be the best way to phrase the question.
Yes. Okay, that's a very, very good question. And that's the problems of other previous project belong to, the forest 1.0. They just spend a certain percentage of the total supply to pay for the reward, right? Yeah, to give for the reward pool. So what happened when this kinds of token they runs hours and something like that? So we really knows that one. So this project, our project is totally different from others previous projects. They already have the stake for like that. We still have to generate. We still generate another income profits from four different sources. And you can see here that we have the four different sources to generate income, frequently income to add to the pool. The first one does come from the transaction fee. Actually, we only have the 3% of the taxes, but we will use the taxes is very reasonable with the 3%. But we still use the percentage here to add to the reward pools also to share among the holder. And another one that is a property liquidation free, right? Yes, and the next one, that's the marketplace fee. Actually, this one comes from NFT tradings on our platform. Whenever they trade the NFT, we will charge a small fee for the marketplace. And the most important sources for the financier come from B2B integration fee. When other projects they want to be our partners, they want to join in our monthly token staking, they will pay for the small fee for that. The fee will be reasonable and it's based on the discussion and it's based on the potentialities from that project. And we will collect that free and then we add to the reward pool. So that's the way that we want to maintain the pool for long term and avoid inflation, just inflation. So that we can keep it for long. And yes, thank you for the good questions here. I mean that our project is different from the other previous one. We will add to the pool frequently based on the revenue. We will use the revenues and shares among the holder who believe in us and go with us for long term. We will share the revenues, the profit among the holders based on four sources that you can see on the website.
Perfect. I
Yes.
appreciate
So,
it.
okay.
Serena,
So
yeah,
is
and
there any more
taking a look
question
at
about this
the
one?
website, actually, I did have just a quick question about the website there and kind of with regards to the where is it? Oh, I can't find it now. Oh yeah, the tax here. Um, in the where is it? Yeah, no. So in the tokenomics, there it is. Okay. So yeah, in the tokenomics here, looking at the breakdown, I just wasn't sure if you guys had stated anywhere specifically
Okay. So
where
you are looking at economics, right? So any question?
yeah, where the taxes specifically, like on the token side, because if you're looking, oh, there we go, 3% buy and sell. Okay, it just doesn't show it anywhere on the website, and that's what I was curious for, is just making sure the information is available to everybody. Because if you look at the tokenomics, it kind of breaks down the different supply and allocations, but it doesn't actually talk about the tax. So I just wanted to let you guys know to make sure that the team does have the tax just somewhere that's easily listed on the main website, if possible. It shouldn't take a big update, just a quick little switch, but I just wasn't able to find it on the website. So that's one thing I did want to bring up. I know it's in the pink sale link, kind of second bottom line, but on the website it's not anywhere that's super easy to find, I guess.
Okay. So what's your interest about this one, right?
No, so I just was gonna, I was just more so feedback. Just make sure that the team adds it so the buy tax is easy to find on the website.
Oh, okay, okay. Yes, maybe I go forward to argue so that the team can add it to the website, right? So it's
Yeah, that would
easier
be
for people
awesome
to look.
because it's on the pink
Okay,
sale
thank
link,
you.
but it's not in the tokenomics section where it's typically kind of listed on the website.
Okay. Yes, I will forward your ideas or suggestions and ask them to answer the website so that the people can take it more clearly, right?
Yep,
Okay.
that's
So,
perfect. Thank
Maureen,
you so
yes,
much.
yes, Maureen, do you have any question from the committee?
So
Someone
I
may
just
ask.
wanted to kind of bring that up quickly and just kind of give you guys that suggestion just to make sure people once especially because now the fair launch is closed, so most people will likely kind of do their research from the website, from your telegram group, and they're or kind of moving forward from there. So I appreciate that, Serena. I did want to kind of walk back now. We touched a little bit about the APY on the staking side of things. I did want to look at some of the additional utility that you guys have on the roadmap and kind of when ideally the team would have that rollout. So you guys have your wallet, you have your marketplace, and then like the end goal, I know if the project runs that way, if the community stays intact, would be to build up rabbit chains. So I guess from the team's perspective or from the team's discussion internally so far, when would some of those additional utilities come into play here?
Okay, so the first one that is staking pool, right? We intend to harvest right at the New Year's Eve. Why? Because we want to welcome the New Year's of Rabbit, according to Chinese tradition. So the next year would be the Rabbit Tree. So the first day to release the staking pools would be the New Year Eve, right, of 2023. Yes, so right after we finish everything about the testnets already, yes. So right after we finish everything like that, so after launch we will have the official announcements for this one. And according to the roadmap, and you can check this one, we still have a lot of plans and on the way for this one. Yes, after listing, we have listing on Pancake. We will have the sub really first, and after that, the single token stakings, and we will enhance the security also through two others audit company. So within December, everything will be released here for the first phase of this project, right? Yeah, so they can start making the passive incomes, right? Yes, I already answered the questions about this one. So I hope that you can make it clear, right? Make it clear that the staking pools will release within December's, and to welcome the New Year's of Rabbit. So every holders, every investor, they can earn the passive incomes here frequently, day by day. Actually, day by day, they can withdraw the interest. They withdraw interest. I think this is a good idea. Good idea. Even they choose to stake 1 month or 3 months or 6 months or 1 year, they can withdraw the interest day by days, and the reward pool will be added frequently through for different sources. So don't worry about the inflation here. Okay. Through the roadmap here, you can read about this one on the website. We have the more detailed plan on the roadmap, and just check it. And if you still have any questions about the roadmap, I will give you more details about this one.
Perfect. I appreciate that, Serena. And you know, I think the most important thing now that we touch on is the community, right? Because as you know better than anybody, you can have a good idea, you can have a good plan, but if people don't get behind it, if people don't join the community, stay active, the project is not likely going to last very long, especially in this market. You know, because if people aren't coming in, if people aren't talking about it, we get into that mindset of something being undervalued or sometimes forgotten. I think, in these market conditions, if the community isn't really supporting and pushing organically, it does become exhausting on the project because then you're constantly having to throw money at it, right? So this is where my question comes into play on the community aspect is what do you do now going forward to make sure that they're active with you and they kind of stay along for the ride, and again, it's playing off the momentum that you guys built in the fair launch and ensuring that you can keep that going moving forward.
Very good question. Yes, that's the main point here. During the bear market, it's very important to keep the investor satisfaction and keep the investor trust. And of course, if even though that you have the good marketing plans or the transparent road smart, but the community doesn't accept it and they doesn't follow it, so the project will die very soon, and we will not take for long. I really know that situation. We really know that. So that's the reason why we are running this project under the DAO mechanism, is where the holders, where the investor can raise their voice, they can vote for the development, vote for the developments of the purchase, even that they can vote for the tax listing or anything like that. So we will listen to the ideas, listen to their suggestions, and we will put them into the top priority because we cherish every penny that they spend with us. Yes, and I think that you reminds me of the very important thing. Yes, I will also remind those of my members to take care of their communities carefully, and they will be there almost 24 hours, yeah, to support the communities. And of course, let's see the fair launch. We already raised the 500 BNB. Normally, this is not a big amount, but during the bear market, this is a really good amount for us. Yes, and to maintain the trust from the investor, first of all, have to, we have to keep the trust healthy. The first of all thing, but we have to keep the trust healthy right after launch. Why? Because the news investor will look at the chart to see that whether we are serious with our projects or not, or something like that. So we will keep the trust healthy all the time to welcome the news investor, even that they miss the pre-sales, miss the fair launch. For example, so most of you guys maybe you are here but the resales already ended 30 minutes ago. You didn't have the chance to join in the pre-sales, and after that, maybe you're wondering whether you will jump in the higher price and it will be risky because maybe the pre-sale already get the profit, something like that. But we want to make sure that this is a long-term project. Even that you miss the pre-sales, you can join after launch and after that because we will generate the passive income for you when you join in the staking pools, and we will keep the trust healthy. We will make it last, make our project last for long, not just for 1 day 2 day like that. Yes. So yeah, I want to mention that. I want to emphasize that the community is the keynote speakers of any project. So if you have any ideas, any suggestions, any questions, don't hesitate to ask, don't hesitate to vote. We will follow the road smart, but the most important things we will base on your idea first. Thank you very much for your ideas, Maureen. And this is the most important thing that I want to emphasize right now.
100%. Great response, Serena. Honestly, community. Everybody talks about it as being the most important factor with the market shifting the way that it has. Um, Projects will, again, if you have the right, because it's all about the right people supporting you. And I'll go into a little bit. This isn't more so a question; it's just so much a statement. But if you have the right people supporting you, they're more patient often with the development, with the team, and understanding where you guys are as a project. Versus if you have people who strictly came in, looking for a quick return, looking for a quick X, those people aren't really going to be as patient, I guess the best way to put it would be. And I'm sure you've seen that in other projects, right? So again, if you're able to build up the right people in the community from the early stages, they can be the most important factor for why a project can succeed, especially when the market is the way it is right now, because that organic word of mouth, that organic strength of community, can be sometimes even more impactful, even more valuable than putting out some calls, putting out some additional marketing. Once again, in the launch stages, calls and that type of thing are very impactful because you're growing the community. But once the community is formed, that's where the organic strength can really come into play. So it'd be interesting to see again what you've been doing early, how that benefits the project, maybe say a couple days, couple weeks into launch. So awesome. Thanks, Serena.
Okay, so I can see someone raising their hands right now. Maureen, can you help me to unmute them so they can join with us? And I
Yeah,
can see
no,
it's
I was just going to
Brandon.
ask
Yes.
one last question here, and then I was going to actually just pull in the community to get
Okay.
their questions here. So if we have one last question, I did want to talk to you about the marketplace because we've seen a lot of projects come into the the DeFi space. And one of the utilities that they look to bring into the market is an NFT marketplace or an NFT collection. I mean, I will obviously say there's only so many marketplaces or so many, I guess, utilities like that that can really be successful. I mean, you could function as a utility, it could look good, it could work, but the flip side of it is actually getting the volume in required for the marketplace to see its full potential. So, my question is kind of along the lines of marketplace, not a bad idea, but there's a lot of saturation out there right now. So, what would you say some of the differentiators or why would, I guess, what would make Rabbit Finance's marketplace different than most you might see these meme coins or these low cap projects creating right now?
Okay, so that's a good, right? That's a good question about this one because you can see that a lot of projects right now with the markets play and maybe they have the same ideas, but just a few of them could be successful, right? Okay, so that you can see that the Rabbit Finance 2023 smart contract has audited through the leading auditing organization on the market, and actually that we are on both sides. So now it's another two big others of this company because we really know that during the situation recently, people are really concerned of the safety first, the safety of the liquidity. Yeah, so that's the most thing that they concerned right now. So our project is a DeFi project. So all this is a very important factor. So we already connected with two other big companies. So this our project and will announce right at launch. And you can see that the identity is here, say the police and all the that will be operators on the smart chain platform of sort. And our smart contract was automatically, right? Yes, allow it to operate on its own without a human intervention, and the system is programmed and operated independently without any the human interference like that. So the worries about the repetitive loss or something like that. And you can see that we have the suffers backward sensors. So the pin cells at the contracts and they already confirmed about this one. Then the investor will make sure that it's totally safe for them to invest. I think the safety, yes, either safety, the liquidity is the first thing that they are concerned right now when they decide to invest into in any purchase. And the second thing is in that the economic situation is now gradually deteriorating, and investors are being wider when they cannot find a place where they can safely accumulate assets. However, the blockchain can completely solve that problems. As mentioned with layer through the second protocols of Rapid Finance 2023, the cash flow will be calculated in the most optimal way where investor profit will be brought from the project's own revenues. And as the ecosystem grows, the more the consumer use it, and they contribute to the strong revenue growth, so that investor will be happy with the profit they receive day by day through the passive incomes earning from the staking pools. Okay. Yes, thank you for the good question because a lot of people are concerned right now that we have a lot of projects, they have the similar target, even the similar plan or something like that, but they will not last for long, they will not be successful. So what make our projects different from the others? I already mentioned some points. And you can come to our telegrams, global transport, and ask any others idea for this one, right?
So, and then I guess the last question would be a lot of things people like in from a user or consumer perspective, or sorry, community perspective. A lot of people like these referral or affiliate programs that projects will put in place. So I'm not, and I know it's been quite successful for projects who are geared or have or kind of well connected within the Asian market. So do you guys have a plan to have a referral system or some kind of affiliate system in place for the project as a whole, or maybe specifically within the NFT marketplace? That's kind of the last question I have, Serena, and then I will officially kind of open it up to the community here.
Okay, so that you got the NFT marketplace that you want to ask about this one, right? Actually, we will open up this NFT marketplace soon at the first quarter of 2023. Yes, and we have the two form of NFT. And so the first of all, that's the release NFT from our own projects. We will have to number submitting NFT and the price of both based on the price of tokens that time and another class of NFT does belong to the holders investor. We call that the customized NFT, where others investors holder they can create their own NFT based on their hobbies, of course based on the rabbit image, right? To create their own NFT to show their art creativities. Yeah, so they can to make their own MSC souls and they can trace it on our marketplace. And others will concerns about the NFT marketplace and they ask whether other project can join us or not to trade on our platform or not. The answer is yes, of course. But before that, we have to check other project first, whether it's reputable, whether it's latest or not, so that we can protect the investor, we can protect the and yes, the holder, so avoid them from joining in any scam purchase or not. So yes, everything's about the NRC marketplace has been prepared for very well because it will be trendy next year, I guess, right?
Terrific.
So,
Oh, go ahead, Serena. Sorry about that.
okay. So no, actually, yesterday I just want to talk to you something like that. And if you still have any questions, I will we answers any questions from you first, and after that we will move to the community's questions.
Terrific. Well, I think at this point I would like to open it up here to the community. So let me go to Benova here for our first one, and then we'll try maybe Shabashi Group Limited for our second. What's going on, Benova?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. Good afternoon.
Good to
Yes, good
hear from you, Benova.
afternoon.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity, Maurice. Serena, you have quite a good project here, Rabbit Finance. My question, let me just go straight to my question. My question on your white paper, I saw that you'll be giving out microcredits. Um, my question will be, do like if I want to get a microcredit from your project, do I need to have a KYC with? Do I need to KYC with you in order to get this microcredit?
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, can you hear me? Did you get my question?
Okay, so you want to ask whether other project will need to KC with us if they want to join in our platform, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so actually, it's already told you guys. If any project they want to cooperate with us to stake, to staking or something like that, we have to check it first whether they have the KAC with the good companies like the pink sales or not, or yes, the pink sales or something like that or not. If they already finished, they already finished the KACs and they already sold that this is the latest project, so they don't need to KAC with us or one more time. But if not, we have to ask them to KAC with us because we want to make sure that our investor will totally safe when they connect with their projects and to stake the monthly token staking with their projects or not. So we want to make sure that everybody will be safe, totally safe from this month, right? So if they already finished, completed the KC with the big company like PingSell, like hers, like that, so they don't need to KC again. But if not, they have to KC with us before joining with us on our platform. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for your honesty, Serena, and thank you for this
Yes.
opportunity. Yes.
Yeah, just okay. I'm very happy because you are here with me right now. So even that the visa is already ends, and you still here with us and ask more question about us. Even that you really want to know about our project, I'm very happy. So I'm still here. Yes, I'm free, available to answer any question from you guys. So just raise your hands, and Maureen can pick you up. Yes, I can answer any question from you guys. Hello.
Perfect. Thank you so much for the response there, Serena. And I hope, Manova, that that answers your question there, man. We will get Dwick, or no, we got Shabashi here. I mentioned, and then we'll try Dwicky after that. So Shabashi can't. There we go. I got you unmuted.
Hello. Rex Norman or searchers. I can see that Rex Norman he raising their hand for
Yeah, so
long.
I unmuted somebody else who had their hand unmuted, but I don't know if they got dropped or what happened there. So I'll try to go to Dwicky here next. It's been a while since we've heard from Dwicky, and then maybe we'll try Joseph after that.
Okay, it's my turn or not?
Yes.
Go ahead, Dwicky.
Okay, I have one question here. It's about the roadmap. I saw a borrow feature in the fourth quarter of next year. The question is, do users have to provide collateral to be able to use the feature? Thank you.
So you want to ask about cross platform cross platform integration or something like that, right? So you mean
It's
that
about borrow feature in the fourth quarter of next year.
okay, you want to ask about the last quarters of next year, right? So this is the first quarter of
Yes.
2023. We have the three main things. Yeah, three main things. That's the cross platform integration, Rapid Chains mainnet launch. Rapid Chains, what's it? It's when that every project they can join into our platform and they can make a transaction here. They can yeah make a transaction here. They can identify the projects here and of course they can trading at our chains, rapid chains. And another that's the lendings and borrowing desk. This is very important, very important. And you can see that our aim is that we can make the some so we can make Rabbit become, a legacy platform where they can use another transaction, just like, the futures on the Binance or something like that. So yes, of course, if you really want to join in this, and you need to borrow some monies, and the project will lend it first, and you can join in, you can place to get the profits. But we still have some strategy that we can protect our project and investors from getting lost. So at that time, more strategies and more detail will be released for you, right?
Okay. What about the
Hello.
do user have to provide collateral to be able to use the feature? Do user have to provide collateral to be able to use the feature about the borrow feature?
Can you speak like
I can
slowlier?
I
So
can just repeat it, Serena. So he was just asking if you have to have collateral or put up collateral to use the borrowing feature.
Yeah, yeah. That's I mean.
so so what's about this one? I still not classify the question, Maureen. So we want to ask
No,
about
he was
us
just
what?
curious if you have to put up collateral to use the borrowing feature. So
Uh,
collateral could be in the sense of like, well, I mean, in the most traditional sense, it's your house, kind of, right? Like that's the most commonly used form of collateral would be like your house. So if you go to take out a loan, the bank often will ask you, okay, what do you have in your name as an asset? And then oftentimes your house would be kind of the first thing that hits the list. So in the real world sense of that, it's just something that you have ownership over that should something go wrong, you would be able to potentially, if need be, leverage to use the funds to pay off whatever happened.
okay, so
Yeah,
yes,
that is yes.
yeah, yes, yes, I can make this clear right now. So they don't want to focus on the lending and borrowing this way. So actually, everything has been planned very well and belong to the financial status and situation like that. We need to have everything transparent. So before we releasing these features, we will make the officers announcement for the rules, the regulation where they attend this. It's not to avoid this, the loss or something from both sides. Okay, so for the details of the lendings and borrowing test will be released at the last quarters of 2023. I will ask the team to make the official announcement with more details about this one because right now actually I can give you the clear answer for this one first right now because it's on the development, so that the details will be announced very soon. I will ask them to make it clear on the website so they can check it one more time for this one, right?
Oh, okay, no problem. I know.
Are you feeling well right now, Disky? Because it's winter, so maybe you have having a best cold or something like that, right? Yeah, I can hear your voice. So, are you
Okay,
okay?
thank you for the answer. Yes, it's no problem. Okay, I'm okay. How about your
Yeah,
answer?
Thanks so
thank
much,
Thank
Dicky.
you.
I
you.
appreciate you
Yeah, thank you,
taking the time
Maurice.
to
I'm
speak.
sorry I can speak English.
No, that's okay, man. I
Okay,
appreciate you
okay.
sending over the questions. Uh, no issues there on my end. So we had question here. Okay, that kind of got answered. There's Dwicky's question. So Angam here has a question. Her question here, Angham Aaliyah. You say that the community receives a fixed APY that's never supposed to change. What so essentially how can you guarantee this for your community when volume plays a factor in the APY? Not a bad question.
So this is questions from the committee, right?
This was from a user named Angham Aaliyah. And their question was, you say that the community is set to receive a fixed APY, which means it's never supposed to change. How can you guarantee this for your community with volume playing a factor?
Okay, so this is a good question. Yes, because you can see that for the channels or stacking pool, so that will be the big problems with the ice requires when it's so high and the volume is slowing down, and it's very so very difficult for them to maintain this age while like that. But actually, that you can see that we already have, the plan for this one. That's the reason why you can see so on their side we have four different sources for this one. Yes, for yeah, this come from four different sources: the task and testing, the marketplace, the B2B integration. So we have the four sources for this to maintain. And of course, that you can see that the volume maybe is will down sometimes. It's based on the markets and based on the stage of the project. And that's the problem that we have to concern. So that this is also our challenge to maintain the project for long. Yes, we will try our best to keep it for long, to keep the volume first, and of course, we prepare the huge capitals to maintain the trust, to make it healthy, and then to maintain the volumes. So don't worry about this one. Just let actions speak. Why the actions speak louder than words? Everything that I will say right now, maybe you don't believe in it, so let the time prove it and let our action prove that. Okay, so you can see that we will keep working. We are very serious about our project and we will find a way to keep the volumes and to make sure that the staking forward the highs, the APYs can still last for long. Thank you very good for the question here. So, any other questions? Those?
That was the answer to that one. I'm going to check here to see if there's a few other hands unmuted. I think I called out Joseph there, Joseph Samuel earlier, so I did not want to leave him hanging. We'll get uh, we'll get Joseph up here for our next one.
Okay.
Yes, at Greg Norman. I see that he raised his hand from the beginning. Right? Okay,
Yeah,
Okay.
I
please
think
speak.
Greg actually sent me one as well too. So let me check my DMs here. Yeah,
Okay.
he did.
Can I
So
go
we'll
on
see
with
what.
my question, please?
Yeah, go ahead, Joseph. Sorry about that.
All right. All right. Thank you. I wanted to ask about your IAPY, but you just answered that, so no problem. So secondly, I want to know if this thing you didn't mention about DAO since you have been talking. So I just want to know if you guys have a DAO program for us, the community, to contribute our quota to the success of this project, to give you our feedbacks and suggestions. So do you have something like a DAO?
Okay, so you want to ask about the DAO's mechanism, right? Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Actually, yeah. Actually, that's as Maureen said before, community is a keynote factors of any project. Even though we have the good marketing plan, the transparent roadmap, but the community is not active, they will not like it, so the project will not last for long. That's the reason why we will run our projects under the DAO's mechanisms, and every holders, every investor they will raise their voice and they can vote for the development plan like before deciding any strategies any important stage we will open up the vote for the every members here, especially we will create a vip groups for the hoster the risk holders and where they can raise their voice of course. Yes, this is a very important ideas for this one. We have a lot of project before. They already said that they runnings under the DAO's mechanism, but after that they didn't let the community decide, and they just want to ask for fun or something like that. We're not. We will respect every opinions from the investor because we cherish every penny that they spend with our project, right? So don't worry about this one. Actually, our project will be under the DAO's mechanism and you can follow it days by day, right?
Oh, great. All right. So are we to have a governance token? Are you guys going to implement a governance token for us to vote, or or are we going to go about dropping our decisions and suggestions to you guys?
Okay. So do you have still other questions from other members or that?
Sorry, did you get me right? Sorry.
Hello?
I
I
mean, are you
couldn't
going
fix it
to?
now.
I said, are you going to implement a governance token for us to vote, or are you going to go about
Okay.
it?
So yeah, would you have to build out another token to use as governance, or would this be used as the voting token? I think essentially, Serena.
So of course they can use the He's mean that he needs to use other token, right, or something like that. No.
No, so he was asking because you do reference a DAO, and sometimes teams will create a completely different governance token. So he was asking, are you going to have to complete, or are you going to have to uh, generate a new token to use for governance, or will you use the RB token for the governance for
No,
the
no,
DAO
no.
itself?
We don't need to use other token, right? We use RB token to use for the DAO's mechanism. Don't need to use other token. So when we release other token, it will be the troublesome and problematic, and it's very difficult for it to control. So just use the LB token for this one. So every holders of the purchase who holds every token, yes, they can based on the percentage of the token that they hold, so they can decide the development of the project. No need to have another token, right?
Got that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Roses, for being here with me right now. Yes, I'm very happy. Actually, I said before, I'm very happy right now. Even the pre-sales Lafayette already answered, but you still are here and you ask a lot of questions about our project. It means that you really interested in our project. And to make sure that you feel safe, you feel confident in our project, just ask. Ask anything that you want, right?
So we can probably do another question or two here as well. I see a couple mics. Elmer, it looks like your mic's on. I don't know if you have a question you wanted to get in.
Hello, Maureen. Why a lot of people dropped a lot of numbers in the chat box? Is this for the reward, right?
Oh yeah, my coordinator's probably just doing a little fun contest or a game or something like that for one of the prizes. That's all.
Okay, so then, so I just move on to see any questions here.
You probably saw the numbers and
Any
were like, "What's
question,
going on
just a
here?"
number. Okay,
Hello.
just the numbers all the time and no questions. That's all. Even okay, I read through it. Okay, so congrats for those who will win. Yeah, the rewards. Thank
Hello.
you. Yeah, no question. Okay, yes, up here.
Hey, what's up? I think that's New Crypto, New World.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Very simple. Thanks, Rina, for the wonderful project and wonderful answering all the questions I've been listening. My very first question is like today, if you take Pink Sale or any every day, hundreds of new tokens getting listed and getting published. Everybody makes bet on based on the analysis they do, etc. Very good, well said. You have a lot of thinking around the project. My question is, what is the way you're going to protect this pump and dump? There are people who just goes buys in Pink Sale or sells it often. There are investors as well. What is the protection that you are handling with respect to the investors and those people who want to really be in long term? Because you did not restrict the buy as well. For many people, restrict the buy by say 2 BNB, 5 BNB, but you did not do the restriction on the buy as well. So, what is your thinking around that? How are you going to promise those genuine investors who want to go long term with the projects?
Okay, so yes, I can see some points from your question. Actually, I'm not sure that they can get this right or not, but as you can see that yes, we already successful raised nearly 400 BNB. Actually, maybe this is the last amount at the right time right now, where we have this bear market situation right now, and a lot of people who miss the results and they wondering whether we have this anti-dump after results or not. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. Well, for example, if you want to invest in any project, what we will look for first. First of all, you have to do the research. You have to do the research. You have to check what the team come from, and you have to check what they have done so far. If there's any marketing plans ongoing, or you have to check the task log to see that the team is active all the time or not, or they just ignore the question from the hosters or something like that. So you can come and check first at our global groups to see that we're really serious about the project. For those antis them after we sell, we can resource. First of all, we have to raise the confidence, raise the trust in the community first. When the community they have the enough trust in us, they will hold the token for long. They will not, they will not sell the token right after launch for just a small profit, a small amount like that. Okay, so they will be sure that if they keep for long, they will generate the last amount, the big profit. So that is our duty. Yes, our duty
Thank you.
first. Yes, our duties is
No, the
that we have
motivation
to.
is like, for example, you giving some kind of the no, no, reasons to hold. There are many people giveaways to keep the people long-term holders. There are like many forms, many token we have seen. Be it Alway Chain, every month they distribute those people who never sold certain percentage. Many new innovative ways of holding the investors. I was just asking, are there any thinking around that? But thank you.
Yes, thank you, thank you. That's a good question. That's exactly that you should concern, right? Maybe it's other people also when they visit resell, they will concern at that time
Yeah, and
whether they. Yeah.
I
Hello,
wanted to jump
Maureen.
in too and say, New World, like, what have you, if you're getting into a pink sale, because what you said is 100% accurate. And I messaged my coordinator just to make sure that he gets you a point one, because your question is very true. Being that doesn't matter if you raise 400, 800, 1,000, 2,000, doesn't matter what you raise in the pre-sale. It's all about how the launch goes and how the community stays intact. So very
Exactly,
accurate question.
Maurice.
And what do you feel when you're putting into a pre-sale? Because what I say is, if you really like an idea or a concept, but the way they sometimes go in terms of the life cycle of those projects, dumping a bit off launch and then having a chance to recover from the dip and do, really good from there. How do you, I guess, split your investment if you like a pre-sale? Do you go like 25% pre-sale, 75% maybe for a live chart in terms of what you might put in if you were to allocate one BNB on a buy, so that you put like 0.25 in the pre-sale and then you save 0.75 for some DCAing afterwards? Or how do you play those when you've identified a good one you like, but you just don't know if FOMO may hurt the launch a bit?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mauricio, for recognizing me. Hope I get the award, but thank you so much. You echo my the
Actually,
most
I
of the
wanted to
people in the
throw a
call.
question kind of back to
Yeah.
you. So, if you are getting into a pre-sale, how do you play it? Because what you said is
Very
very
simple. See,
accurate, right?
I'm into this for last at least 8 years. I'm not a experience older enough, but 8 years I've been watching crypto. Every currency has their own tokens, has their own up and down. But the strategy as a lead, the team within the group has to play very well. For example, one that I appreciate recently is those who never sold. We've been giving them regular drops of from the main token. For example, 2%, 3%. The wallet that never sold. You invested in a pin sale and you are continuing to support the project, you keep on, and there is a motivation for you to hold longer while you work on the project, make people understand, and as much possible transparent AMAs, because whatever Serena has explained today gives a lot of confidence. I'm one of the big investor already done in the pink sale I purchased. I would continue to hold because there is a long term view and the project has got a vision here, so we'll support. Only thing is there are people who doesn't operate that way. Everybody's mind is get something out of that 1x 2x and thank you, but we need to ensure we bring not just one item innovation but multiple ways to innovatively encourage the holders and continue the project and ensure we show results as well. So I would definitely introduce a lot of innovative awards and giveaways, airdrops, whatever from the token which is possible, so that people knows this means a lot and it's community driven and it's looking at the welfare of the investors and benefit of the investors. In turn, I think we go a long way. There are projects who are very successful as well. Definitely, I think you have a valid reason, Mauricio. That's how I will play.
Yeah, no, that's smart. And I just, again, I normally don't throw it back, but I figured not a bad time. It's always nice to engage with the audience when we can. So I appreciate your feedback on that as well, New World. And yeah, appreciate you jumping in for a question. And Obviously, nice to
Thank
see
you.
that you like the project here, as you did choose to invest. I believe you said in the fair launch. So, obviously, best of luck as the team gets ready for launch tomorrow. Let's hope the community stays really hyped and engaged, and just can utilize that strong momentum they built today and carry it over. Awesome. Well, I'm going to get the question here from Greg Norman in, and then I do have to wrap up. I want to leave about 15 minutes there in between this and our next AMA that we have coming on. So we have about 5 minutes for the closing statements between Serena and myself. The last question from Greg is, one of the main problems facing NFT enthusiasts or collectors is the increasing valuation or shift in the NFT market. How would the price of the NFTs be determined in Rabbit Finance? And do you have anything in place to ensure that if the project becomes successful, holders aren't priced out of your NFT collections? Meaning that, as your token or project grows, the price of the NFTs don't go 10 times what they may be to start. And then some of these newer or smaller investors just can't afford them anymore.
Okay, so thank you for the good question from Norman, right?
Yeah, that was from
Uh,
Greg.
Okay, yes, Brandon's here. And actually, he's very concerned about the NSD, right? NSD marketplace. And I think that one of the main problem facing NSD is the increasing evaluation of the NSD market. And actually that you can see that a lot of projects, right? They just overestimate the MSD to grade the FOMOs or something like that, and after that they will drop it up. So to maintain the MSD marketplace stables, either also a challenge for any projects. And for our projects, we already create our own Oracle system for estimate MLC value. So the MSD values will depends on, first of all, depends on the development of our project or not, whether our project is well received or not. So if you raise the price of MSD will goes up together with the development of projects. And we hope that when we raise our own the Oracle system for estimating the MSD value, so the values of the MSD will be controlled, or yes, will be controlled at that time to avoid some, over the estimates or something like that. Okay, yeah, that's just very good questions about NSD marketplace. I also forwarded the question to our team, and they will make the detailed plan for this month. When we start create our own NSD marketplace, we will make a vote for other communities members based on the DAO's mechanism. So if you guys really concerned about this one, you're really interested in LSD marketplace, you can give the suggestions on the ideas. You can vote for the development here. We will based on your ideas to develop it. Thank you. Thank you very much for who answers who question is it? Is the
Yeah, it was
moment, right?
Greg Norman there
Okay,
at the
okay.
Think Sale.
Yes.
So I appreciate you
Yeah,
taking the
thank
time
you.
to jump through that one, Serena. And yeah, I will say I wanted to kind of move to the closing statements just so we have some time, and then we have our giveaway here on the back end just for participation. But thank you very much for again being so flexible on the time. I know we were supposed to initially go live at 8 a.m. or 1 p.m. UTC. Just a little bit of a weird start to my morning, so I appreciate the flexibility. Got the post up as soon as I could, and then I think the AMA discussion obviously has gone well. You guys did get a solid amount of FOMO kind of built up. I think yesterday when I was looking, since then, I think you put around 270 BNB into the fair launch. So again, really solid kind of closing stretch from the team, and it certainly seems as if the community was kind of hyped up and waiting for the end. I will say the nice takeaway as well as the number of contributors. I think you finished around 450 total contributors there. which is kind of what people like to see because it spreads the floor a little bit better. And then, as New World was mentioning there, hopefully people, you know, that got into the fair launch got in because they did like the project and did think outside of just a specific FOMO aspect and are hoping to see the project through a little bit longer than your traditional kind of shorter flip. So again, great job by the team, great job by the community so far. Coming together and creating a successful fair launch, and then now we're off to the launch, right? You know how these things go. Even if there's a slight dip off the launch because people got in based on FOMO, don't really understand the project, that can be fine. You guys know how to play them. Stay active in the community. Get a feel for the way the vibe is. Make sure the team is active, and from there, as long as some those boxes are being checked, even if there is a short dip or a small dip off launch, we know, as we've seen it happen time and time again, they can be reversed. But again, it's just that community activity, team engagement. If those things are there, you know you can stay in there, stay active, but always be sure to be in the community if you bought in. Just stay active. Make sure you're kind of checking those updates from the team. Make sure that you're engaging on, those activities that the team is having the community complete. Because again, they're putting those in place to help the project, hopefully. So, support one another, meaning the community and the project. And then thank you, Serena, for the time today. I know it was uh, a little bit shifted, but again, really solid discussion. Really wanted to say a final thank you to School for all of his help because I know he's very, very well respected in the space and has a great network there. So I'm excited to see what he'll put in place for you guys on your launch day plan.
Okay, yes, Maurice, and I understand the situation. Yes, when you send a message and you say that something urgent came up and you cannot make up the SMAs on the right time, so I understand the situation right now. So, yes, of course, and thank you for inviting me to this SMAs, and I hope that you will keep supporting us for long, because this is a long-term project, and we want to make sure that everybody have the same point to develop this work together. So thank you, Maureen. Yes, thank you for supporting me at this AMA, and you are very supportive all the time, right? So thank you very much, and I hope that we will have another chance to have another AMAs after launch. And yes, have a good days, and I will see you later, right? So
Yeah,
if you guys do have any questions, they'll just come to our global chat box, and we are here 24 hours to answer any questions from you guys. And tomorrow's the purchase our token will be launched on the Pancake Swap. So I hope that you can join with us, even if you missed the results. So it is right time after launch. Okay, thank you again one more time for having us. Thank you, Marines. Yes.
thank you so much, Serena.